Morning. February 24th, 2022. I am the soul pool, you are the soul pool, we are the soul pool, together as a collective. And without you this doesn't work. Astral DJ woke me up with the words take my hand again, but take my whole world too. So I know it's I can't help falling in love with you. But it's not the Elvis version, it's the English UB40 version. Which means somebody may be getting their cards, or I don't know what you call it in America. Somebody's getting fired or let go. And it's a testing time when that happens in relationships. And you have to decide whether you're more bothered about the money or the relationship. Also, they're saying we've got to have the little chat about when you can't help falling in love. Because some people, I have a lot of people come to me racked with guilt because they've fallen in love. And it's all the stupid thoughts that go through your head, especially if your parents are dead. What would my mum say? What would my dad say? There's no judgment in heaven, in spirit, whatever you want to call it. Because they see everything, they see the whole picture. They don't just get the bits that you tell them or you hide from them. And we have a certain card, you know, in the light workers deck that makes me cry, because it's the mother saying, you got to mother yourself now. And that's the thing, it's stop judging yourself so harshly. It doesn't matter whether it's same sex, whether it's that you fell in love when you feel like you shouldn't because you're in a relationship. It doesn't matter if you're different religions. It doesn't matter to spirit. All that matters is that you are loved and that you love. That's controversial. I might lose people because of that. But that's what they say. As long as you're doing it through love, it's not wrong. So, that being said, now I've ruffled a few feathers, we'll carry on. If I can remember where I put my bloody cards. There we go. And today's card is the Lovers. Wow. No wonder they give me that song then. See, the Lovers is a story about Adam, Eve and Lilith. Lilith was his first wife. And she didn't want to be, she didn't want to take the missionary position, to be fair, that's it, that's all it was. She didn't want to be dominated by a man. So she asked the gods, because there was one person, she asked the gods to cut them free, and they made them into separate people. She cleared off and did whatever she wanted to do. And so then Adam got Eve, they made him Eve as a separate person. and they're married, and you know what the story about that is. But what people don't know is that Lilith came back, and she tried to cause a lot of trouble. She'd had her fun, and she wanted to come back and be dominant over Adam, really. So you be careful what you wish for, because you might not just get it. But then when you do, you can't turn around and flip the switch when you decide you don't want it anymore. So that's the thing. The Lovers is about triangles, usually choices where you are torn. And it's not a nice place to be. If you're in that place, I'm very sorry for you. But how you handle it is a different thing. Honesty is all that matters. Otherwise, we'll suffer this. The world crumbles. Your world crumbles. Your ivory tower that you've built, destroyed, comes crashing down. Arguments, accidents, losses within the home, people leaving home, actual losses of home because of finances, and that might go back to the UB40 thing, losing your job. It's unexpected, it's a shock, and yet it's in the upright, so it's a blessing in disguise, because it shows you people's true colours, what's really important, and you can rebuild. 16. Person living or past it for your diary and address, massively important in a positive way, because it's a blessing in disguise. Someone stuck, either because of the child or because of their own inner child. Like I said, thinking about what the parents would say, worrying about what other people will say, because we're taught to do as we're told when we're kids. We're taught other people's way of living instead of living our own lives. So somebody may have thoughts inside themselves that is keeping them trapped in an unhappy situation. Be it work, be it relationship, feeling unable to move on, feeling unable to leave the misery. So what happens is they live to work instead of work to live. They pour themselves into a career or a job that they don't necessarily like. There's no light in this subject, and he's not happy. 8 years. Also, it's about communication strangely, because it's not a sword. It's internet communications. This is about standing up for yourself. If you've done something that other people don't like, because I won't say wrong, but that other people don't like, and they have a right in some way to be upset about it, you're going to have to stand up and defend yourself, because it's your life. And defend what's yours. And I know how hard that is, because I've walked away twice with nothing, because I just didn't want the fight. But whatever you've done gives nobody the right to take things from you that belong to you, that you've worked hard for. So as long as you're being fair, you have to fight and defend what's yours. It's not, it may seem very honourable to leave everything behind when you go, but it's not practical. And if you've worked for it, you deserve it. You need something. So, Spirit's saying, don't walk away with nothing. Because somebody's made a wrong choice here in love, or in work, or in life. Maybe you did make a wrong choice. Maybe you have made mistakes. But as I said to someone I did a read for yesterday, nobody wants a perfect angel. The reason we go through these things in life, the reason we make these mistakes is so we'll learn. And the sooner we make the mistakes and learn those mistakes, the sooner we can get on with the rest of our lives and be happy. Nobody got divorced in the days of Adam and Eve. It just wasn't a thing. So you can imagine what he went through, thinking he wanted to be happy. And you can imagine what Lilith went through, not wanting to be in that situation. It causes people to wear false masks, to be something they're not. If they're not happy in a job or in a relationship or in their life, they become depressed. Medical conditions can erupt out of nowhere. It's sometimes even criminal activity and deceit. It's the negative thoughts in your head and the negative words that you say. You have to be honest and stay positive. And even if this, in an argument, which I don't see any sign of that, you don't hide how you truly feel, because it just breeds more contempt. There's also negative communications, and it's to do with siblings, twins perhaps. It's manifesting your own reality in a negative way. What you believe, like this person here, can't move on, I can't walk away. That's a negative thing that you're telling yourself. You can, you just don't want to face that tower moment. And you know it's coming. But Spirit is saying that tower moment is the blessing in disguise. That's the thing that will actually make you. And the longer you tell yourself you've got to stay in a job or a relationship that you're not happy, the longer this goes on. Now we've got the 1st and the 28th. So the 1st of March may be when it takes place. Whatever happens, Spirit is saying you are protected. This is Archangel Michael. He looks after lost souls. Somebody here is lost and has no fight. So I'm hoping that I'm getting the message that Spirit's trying to say across. Could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, older man. Could be somebody in spirit or in the living. This is someone that gives excellent advice, is detached from the situation and sees things clearly. If you are a man, this will be you. Your thoughts should be very, very clear about what you want and cut away which would no longer serve you. Also, if you are in this situation, you are not thinking clearly. You need to go and get professional advice from a doctor, priest, or lawyer. So, eight months, 8 years is mentioned. Eights mean you're more out than in. There could be some criminal activity, like I said. You justified suspicion, so what you believe to be true is probably true. Oh, straight out there. Yeah, I'm getting the energy of a fella. He's miserable. He's drinking. Or he's just massively depressed. So, I'm asking. Well, Spirit's asking. Say you was in a job with someone. A partnership, maybe a business or a relationship. And they were so miserable, they were ready to commit suicide. Would you rather they stay with you and be miserable and possibly follow through? Or would you rather they walked away? That's what you've got to think about. Because if you think that they should stay and be miserable with you, words I've actually heard, then you don't really care. You don't really love. Somebody is at the gates of hell. This is a high priestess. Somebody's been taken against their will to hell. And they're not looking after themselves. They're putting negative information and thoughts into their body, negative diet. They're just not looking after themselves. Things gone into the body. And negative words coming out of their mouth, or written or spoken. It's somebody in a very dark place. They was born on the 2nd or the 29th. So be careful how you treat people. People aren't living your life, they're living their own. And much as we don't like sometimes when people make a decision we don't like, you cannot control how others feel. 2 or 29, negative energy. As is the 20. Because this needs settling once and for all. It's Judgment Day. And somebody doesn't want to face Judgment Day. Because they know there'll be no compassion. The 20th, living all past it, if you die in address, massively important in a negative way. Teeth, bones, illness. There is here someone who is very passionate, acts in haste, but never finishes anything. So unfinished business, you're going to have to defend yourself and take rapid action. And maybe you haven't planned for it. And that's what I was expecting, really. This could be a third party, or it could be something is coming between you and what you want or who you want. Doesn't always mean that, but for somebody, this is, there's a third person. For the rest of us, it is heartache, sorrow, loss and separation. Perhaps we've lost a sibling. Or distance is between you and someone you care about and you can't speak to them. Like me and my mum at the minute, she's locked down again. I haven't seen her for quite a while. Or work is taking someone away from the family. But that's because they've got to make a living. And that's possibly the only option. Like I said, the UB40 thing again. It can be temporary or permanent. 3 weeks. Somebody is, like I said, in the pit of despair or up to no good because they're confused. Too many options. Those that are doing criminal activities are being tempted by all the things they think they can have and do. So now we have a couple, both needing advice, both needing to be advised. Because they're both unhappy, both drained. Look at the cups, both empty. And in some of these situations, the ego that's keeping you trapped in this situation, because the ego is your inner child, they both feel the same way. Neither want to be in this situation. And yet, nobody spoke to each other. Because they're frightened of losing something. Not the person, material things. As in a business, if you sever the partnership, who's going to buy you out and all that. So they'd rather stay in misery because of the material things. When if they actually was honest and open people, they could have a chat, they could agree to disagree on certain things, they could thrash it out without arguing and act like adults. But at the minute, the child within is having a tantrum. So, time to take action. Finish what you started. There may be a fire sign child involved, and there could have been the gypsy card for the handsome stranger coming in. Someone walking into your life that floors you. It's a shock. It certainly wasn't planned, whatever this is. So, it's a test. Another test, that's all. Of what you're made of. How compassionate you are. But there's no love here. None at all. So for most of you that are watching that are in happy relationships, it is probably a sibling that's going through this, or at work, or it's something that you're both unhappy about with someone else, a third party, a wheel, a spoke in the wheel, perhaps an ex. Yeah, somebody's deliberately trying to confuse you, block your path, so that you, as long as they're happy, they don't care if you're happy. Leo card 19, negative energy, putting the blocks and obstacles in your way deliberately, so that you can't move on, so that you're stuck. 6 weeks is mentioned. Deliberate confusion. You need to get out of your own head. The analysis paralysis. Stop overthinking things. You've made a prison of your own mind. Spirit wants you to release yourself from this toxic situation, and definitely do not sign anything. Do not sign your life away. You make sure you get what's yours. I don't care how guilty you feel or how wrong you feel. Do not let people guilt you into robbing you. This is toxic manipulation. 15. Capricorn energy. Knees, bones, etc. There it is again. You need to bring the walls of Jericho down. It's Judgment Day. Settle this situation once and for all and make a fresh start. Stop wasting each other's time. You may feel, like I said, you may be beating yourself up, feeling guilty or ashamed. You was never good enough. You never earned enough. You need to heal from that and stop believing the words that you tell yourself and others tell you. Putting you down all the time. No wonder you're trapped. 7 years. No respect whatsoever. And there it is again. So, you're running out of options. You know what, with your heart, what you need to do. 7 months. Because somebody is not accepting Spirit's offer of a brand new beginning. And yet, they're not happy where they are. Simple as that. 4 months is mentioned. Yep, somebody's worried about losing their house, their home, their belongings and everything. What's yours, when you see this professional person, you will realise will always be yours. Unless you choose to let people walk all over you and take it from you. Someone feels like they won't have a home anymore. They won't have anywhere to call home. Home is where you're happy, where your heart is. Trust me, like I said, I've done it more than once. You can build a home from nothing. Kristen knows that. A home isn't bricks and mortar. And someone feels adrift because other people have convinced them, or they've convinced themselves. Spirit want you to come to the edge. Stop existing and start living. A new life is dawning. Can't make it up. Co-creation. That's what's trapping you. You've co-created a business, a life with someone else that no longer serves you. And there's the prize, the big fat egg. And somebody's protecting it. Somebody's staying between you on that, sitting on the fence, because there's no way you're going to get my egg. And the cheetah can't walk that line, otherwise it would gobble that bloody owl up easy. So, someone is trying to have it all. And that is just because they want revenge, not because they deserve it. Yes, there's be unhappiness. There'll be no celebrations. There's no happiness in a situation like this. And there'll be no give and take. You might have to battle it out and say, no, that was given to me by Auntie Doris, that's mine. But you can't do things by the book because they'll have you by the short and careless. So go and get some advice because TikTok, time's running out. Life's too short. Change is coming whether you want it or not. The number 7, number 43, the lunar eclipse. It's when it all gets dark. Oh dear. Yep, it's been a disappointment. 5 of Cups. No point in crying over spilt milk, is what Spirit's saying. Three things cannot be long hidden. The truth, the sun, the moon, and the truth. So again, I don't know where the moon is. The sun's in Pisces. So Buddha walked away from his family and everything he knew. A palace full of jewels to find himself. Maybe that's what you have to do. So you may feel like the sun has been eclipsed out of your life. Dramatic changes are in store, and such changes will likely be unexpected ones. the kind that might seem hard. Or will take some special effort on your part. It won't be gradual or easy, barely noticeable transformation. Your world will be rattled. It will seem like a revolution. Do not be alarmed, however, because the altering of your life is essential for getting you where you need to be. We are all here to share our gifts and lead others to theirs, and it is never an easy path. Thank you, Spirit, full circle, done it perfectly today. Any number of things might happen. The ending or the beginning of a transformative relationship. A change in your life path or job, the UB40. Or a change where you live, the house. Whatever it may be, it will be abrupt. This is a time of a new way of looking at things, and that is why they can even bring on changes in eyeglasses and contact lens prescriptions. Or if you're lucky, a marked improvement in your eyesight. So it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. Could be medical issues that work out well. The moon also has a connection to the brain, and thus you may find yourself more in tune with the unseen energies or experience moments of revelation. So Spirit will do something random. So if you see animals, insects, birds, numbers, whatever, something that's unusual or you notice for no reason, that's your message. Look it up. Whatever the issue, it's been brewing for a very long time and things are about to bubble over. It could be a partner or a would-be partner who wishes to take the relationship to a new level. Since the moon symbolises our emotions, you probably already sense what this change should be and will not be completely surprised by it. But the force and the dramatic nature of this shift may be unexpected. You will be thrown off balance, but you've got to stand your ground. And if the situation is something you have taken for granted, it will collapse, and then you will need to make a new start. Also, because of this deceit and wearing the false mask and everything, Spirit is saying this situation must have come to a head before. And then somebody's backed down. They haven't stood up and spoke the truth because they're thinking about what they'll lose. The next time it happens, you have to stand up and admit, because that's what Spirit's waiting for you to own your mistakes and move on. So, expect to be thrown off balance. It may be something that you've taken for granted and it collapses. And then you need to make a new start. In any event, you should start to see these effects within the next 6 weeks. And we've got the 6-week card. Where is it? The boat. I don't know. Can't find it, but there's the boat. 6 of Swords. There it is. Thank you, Spirit. So, if you don't stand up for yourself in that moment, you'll be stuck again. 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks. And expect the outcome to be completed within 6 months. This card can also indicate a cycle. Whatever seems lost at this time, you can be assured will return to you, perhaps in a different form, but most certainly better. So whatever you lose through being honest and walking your path, Spirit will return to you. It may be a different home and a different life, but it'll be just as good. And the people that are hanging on, because they don't want it any other way, like a spoiled child, it's got to be this person, it's got to be that job, it's got to be whatever, are missing out on a wonderful life because there's something better waiting for them. So neither side are winning. Shifts, cycles, things brought out into the open. Changes, perhaps radical, transformations, sometimes through crisis, but for the best. So if you are in a relationship and somebody loses a job and you may be losing your home, don't go saying to them, I can't believe you did this. I'll never forgive you. What you should be saying is, it's all right, darling. No matter what, we'll get through this. That's love. For better or worse. So it's a transformation, sometimes through crisis, but for the best. Diverging paths, getting hit by a curveball when the challenges turn up. Relationships that deepen, transform or end. Feeling disorientated, not being sure of having made the correct choices. No, you've made a mistake. Somebody's maybe made a big purchase, a new home or a change of residence in relation to a plan or a goal. So change of residence. So endings, exposure, sacrificing things and giving up old habits so that you can have a better life. Sudden awareness or enlightenment. Possible medical operations, yes. Changes in eyeglasses and contact lenses. Prescriptions, strange, puzzling dreams. Getting and receiving messages from spirit. Nature, so watch the animals, birds, insects. Taking a calm and active approach to these sudden developments. Don't panic. Five of Cups, you played your part in this disappointment, but you're not to blame. Stop crying over spilt milk. Stop looking back at the past. Inevitable changes, bringing in the new. Memories and dissolution. There it is. Archangel Michael, where's he gone? Hitting the mark. Intention, detachment. So it's all about your intentions. If you have no intention or had no intention of deliberately going out to crucify somebody and you've made a mistake, Spirit is saying you have to detach yourself from that. You have to forgive yourself and stop seeing yourself as some sort of criminal. And if somebody's wronged you, the same applies. You've got to know that people are human. We make mistakes. So what? They did you a favour. Because now you can go on to what's really meant for you. The Arrow Master appears to help you target your intentions and teaches you how to shoot straight for the stars, for what you deserve. The message is to be deliberate about focusing your dreams and desires with intention and about aligning your intentions with spirit. Then let them fly on the wind, directed by spirit, until they reach your goal. The only way to hit the target is to allow that arrow of your intention to fly unencumbered by your eagerness to see it travel a certain way. So again, the child having the tantrum. Your way or no way. You don't know everything, Spirit does. So maybe your way isn't what's best for you. You may think it needs to veer a certain way to reach your goal, but the invisible realms, human powers, cannot make this happen. Only Spirit has its own idea of how the arrow will fly and upon which wind it is carried. Nonetheless, if you do not shoot, you'll never score. This is the fortunate message as long as you remember the law of detachment. If you do, then be assured that you're right on point. Like I said, you need to be detached. Emotions will be strong in this situation. And emotions do not guide you very well. Don't always do what's best for you. But again, like I said, not one drop of love in this situation. What there is two people that either are missing each other or are totally not attached at all in any way, shape or form. They've had enough. Miserable. Nobody's happy. You have to give more, and I've said before, haven't I? If the first thought that comes into your head is, give more, I've given more than enough, then start giving to yourself. It's not always about what we give to others. I hope that helped somebody. I don't know when or if they'll see it, but I hope that helps somebody. Thanks for listening. Bye.